Hello everyone, so today we're going to be installing the custom ROM called Liquid ROM, and then we're going to take a quick look and see what kind of features it offers. So before we go any further, I would like to mention that this is an official build, which means that it has official support from the actual developers of this custom ROM, and as the name has smooth included, the ROM is definitely running smooth with Samsung Galaxy S4 Mini. So without further ado, let's go on with the installation instructions, and then we're going to take a quick look and see what kind of features it offers. So start off by downloading the zip file into your SD card. This ROM is available for the LTE and 3G variants. Unfortunately, nothing for the dual users once again. And also download the GApps package if you want to have the Google applications. And after you have done that, power off your phone. And once the phone shuts off, hold the home button, the power and the volume up at the same time. You do need to have a custom recovery, by the way. This is a must if you are planning on installing any custom ROM. Anyways, once the phone powers off, hold these buttons and you should be in recovery mode. So if you have installed a custom ROM before, you should be familiar with the steps which you need to perform. So the first setting as usual is to wipe data. Choose wipe data. It will also wipe the cache, so there is no need to separately choose wipe cache partition. And after you have done that, choose install zip. Then choose zip from storage SD card 1. In older recoveries, this might be labeled choose zip from external SD card. Anyways, this should take you to your SD card. And now from here, locate the ROM zip file and choose it. It should be labeled LSKK. Choose that and choose yes to confirm. Now be patient, this will take a few seconds and the ROM should be installed. And once it is done installing the ROM, once again choose the same option to go into your SD card, and this time choose the KitKat package. It should be labeled Liquid KitKat. Choose that and choose yes once again to confirm. And that's pretty much it. Press the back button to go to the main menu and choose Reboot System Now. Be patient for the first boot. After that you should be on the setup wizard. Choose your language, choose your Wi-Fi network, choose your Google account and so on, and you should then be on the home screen. And so here we are on the home screen. As you can see, a lovely home screen with a really nice wallpaper. This is the default Quark widget which we get with this ROM. This is actually the same one released by the CyanogenMod team, the C Quark widget. And after installing the GApps package, as you can see, you have a folder here preset with some Google applications as well as the Play Store here. And another thing which you may have already noticed is that the icons have a little blue color. And so this ROM is also using the default KitKat launcher, nothing custom here. And I also have some preset pages here with some widgets and some app shortcuts. So let's go further. Let's take a quick look at the wallpapers which we get. So this is the first wallpaper which you see here. Then we have some live wallpapers here. And lastly, if you head into Liquid Papers, you'll be taken into a small repository which has a lot of wallpapers which you can download. So none of these are actually stored on the ROM. You basically fetch these from the internet, and you can download them and you can later on set them. Unfortunately, loading up is taking quite long. This is not the first time I'm trying this, but let me just show you what it looks like. So the first page seems to be taking a while to load, but if we head into the second, as you can see, we have some wallpapers here. Let me just open this one up, for example, and there we go. So as you can see, you can either set it directly as a wallpaper, or you can save it to your storage and you can later on set it as a wallpaper. And as you can see, pretty much all of these wallpapers have the Liquid Smooth ROM logo on them. So let us go further into the app drawer and see what kind of applications we get with this ROM. So we have the pretty much basic applications, the gallery, the Gmail, the DSP manager, the Apollo music player, which you can find on pretty much any AOSP ROM. Unfortunately, one issue that I have noticed with this build at the moment is that the music player, we were actually started now for some reason, but actually it used to close. This time it is working. I'm not really sure what caused it. Anyways, here we also have OmniSwitch, which I'm going to go into detail in just a bit. And here we have the basic torch. We have the voice search, voice dialer, the YouTube, which we get with the GApps package. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now let us head into the OmniSwitch. So this is basically something like a floating widget. Once you enable this, it will appear here, or wherever you choose it to appear. As you can see, we have quite a lot of customization options here. And anyways, let me just do a quick demo of this. So basically swipe it actually, sorry, to the left side, and here you have some shortcuts, just the action buttons. You can also have a shortcut to the app drawer, to the settings. Here you have the recently opened applications, and down here is your list of favorite applications. So you can actually add a list of favorites here which you can quickly access. So let me just show you that. On the bottom here we have manage favorites. Basically this will open up the list and you can move them around, and you can also delete and add some. For example, let me add the camera and the browser, and let's take a quick look and see how it works out. Okay, let me exit everything, and as you can see, this is appearing here. Unfortunately you cannot see it from the wallpaper now, but let me just head into the app drawer. There we go. Now swipe to the left, and as you can see, you have the recently opened apps, and you also have the favorites. You can hide these if you want, and you can make them show once again like this. So yeah, that's pretty much it for OmniSwitch. So before we actually head into the settings, there is just one more thing which I want to show you, and that is the most important part of the phone, the camera. So yes, the camera definitely seems to be working. So currently I've set it to video mode, and unlike some other KitKat AOSP based ROMs, this one, as you can see, has a good preview quality. You can actually record the video. It seems to be working, as you can see. And you can also take photos, of course. Let me just do a quick demo. There we go. You can focus and so on. So yeah, the camera is working, as you can see. And now it's finally time to dive in to the settings of this ROM. So as you can see, the settings menu here is quite large, as you have a lot of customization options here available. So before we go into that, let me just scroll down a bit and head to About Phone. As you can see here, we have the Liquid Smooth ROM logo at the top, and here we have the Android version 4.4.2, which is for now the latest Android version KitKat. They have replaced the KitKat logo with theirs, so let me just long press this. There we go. So since this build is labeled as official, I'm guessing that it should have Liquid Smooth updates feature available, but unfortunately the developer for now hasn't added this into the list. So as you can see, we are not able to receive over-the-air updates, at least for now. And now finally it is time to head into the customization options. So let's start off with interface. So this is what we get here. As you can see, we have App Bar, Quark widget, which is the widget which you saw on the home screen, and it's quite customizable. I'm pretty sure you're all familiar with it. And let's head into the app bar for now. So this is once again something like OmniSwitch, in which you can add shortcuts to your favorite applications. Unfortunately it doesn't seem to work that well, at least the trigger width. Actually now it seems to be functioning just fine, but yeah. As you can see, you can add applications here. You can also customize the transparency, you can change the width, the trigger position, and so on. So next we have the power menu, which is another basic customization feature which you may have seen on pretty much any custom ROM now. Basically you can add options here into your power menu. As you can see, I already have an extra option added here, expanded desktop. So you can actually add even more stuff, such as a custom application, instead of just all of these options here. So you can go into the plus button, then choose custom app, and as you can see, you have all of your installed applications listed here, and you can choose any app which you want. For example, I can set the browser, and now when I won't press, as you can see, I have the browser here appearing. Next, we've got the progress bar option, in which you can change, you customize the progress bar, you can change the speed, you can change the stroke width, and so on, as you can see. So I cannot really go into detail, you can pretty much understand what this does. And here we have recent RAM bar. This is one pretty neat feature in my opinion, because you can actually make it show how much RAM usage you have on your task manager. So let me just do a quick demo now. You can set it to show applications, application and cache, and applications, cache, and other. Now unfortunately, if you set the last option, it will force close for some reason. It doesn't seem to work. So I can just set, for example, applications, and now when I won't press, you can see how you have this little bar here which shows how much memory you have used and how much memory you have free. And by the way, this is the the recent apps screen for the Liquid Smooth ROM. As you can see, it has a pretty nice look. This is how you scroll through the applications, and if you want to close them, you can just swipe down like this, and if you want to close out, you can just tap on this button here. Next we have the default app picker option, which I personally still haven't exported. Then next we have custom LCD density, so you can actually change the size of things of your whole screen. So for example, I can set this to 160, and as you can see, things become really small. You can even make them bigger if you wish. As you can see, you have you can change it up to 480, or you can actually set a custom value. So let me just put this back to normal. There we go. And here we have enable slim recents, which kind of changes the look of your recently opened applications. Let me just unlock, and there we go. As you can see, it has a different look now. So that's it for the interface options. Let us go further to the lock screen options. So once again, here pretty much the same basic options which you may have seen on other custom ROMs. I cannot really go into detail about these options here, but you can check them out for yourself if you like. Now, one of the things here actually which are pretty neat are the battery ring. So let me walk my screen now, and as you can see, after I unlock it, this here shows the battery power which I have left. Here we have some more options. You can make it to unlock the phone by pressing the menu key instead of dragging, swiping and so on. You can change the notification settings here. You can change the lock screen slider. You can change the icon as well and everything else. So yeah, pretty basic options here. Here we have the navigation. This is to enable the navigation buttons on the bottom, which in my opinion is pretty useless since we already have physical keys. This is useful for other phones which do not have physical keys on the bottom. So yeah, basically that's pretty much it for this option. Down here we have some customizations, and if you won't press this, actually as you can see, we have a shortcut here to Google Now. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the navigation buttons. Let me just disable this. And let's go further into the performance options. So at this point it will ask you for super user access, so just allow it like this, and pretty much here you can see the states of your phone, where it was in deep sleep, or what kind of frequency it has used and for how long the phone has been up, and so on. So next we're gonna head into status bar. Here we have some status bar options. On the build which I'm currently using, if I head into status bar color, I will constantly get a force closing message, and it would make it difficult to reboot my phone. So I do not advise you to enter this option, at least for now. Next we have the battery icon settings. We have the brightness control. By the way, let me just head into battery icon. Pretty much the basic options here. You can change the color, you can change the what kind of icon. It can be a jar, it could be percentage, a circle. Pretty much the basic options which you find on other custom ROMs. Let me exit this one as well. And here we have brightness control. By default, you actually have this option unavailable if you have set automatic brightness. If you have disabled automatic brightness, you have the ability to use this option. So let me just show you a demo. Basically, if you swipe to the left, as you can see, the screen becomes darker. If you swipe to the right, you increase the brightness. Let me just increase it to the max. And yeah, that's pretty much what this option does. Here we have double tap to sleep. If you enable this, double tap on the status bar, the phone will walk itself. And you can actually show the network speed here, which is pretty neat actually. When you're downloading applications or when you're watching a video, you might be interested in what kind of speed you're using with your network. And here we have notification count. So if you have, for example, multiple messages or emails as a notification, here as you can see, you have this little circle which shows you the count of how many notifications and messages you have. And lastly, here we have the icon for the signal. You can have it show as text, you can have it as an icon, or you can just hide it. Next up, in the advanced category, we have active display, which is another neat feature in my opinion. So let me just enable this. Once again, I cannot really go into detail. All of these things are here, just customization options. I'm just going to do a demo of this. So basically this is how it works. When you enable this and when you receive a notification, your screen will turn on and you have a look at what kind of notification you have received. So let me just do a demo now. I'm gonna walk my screen like this. As you can see, the screen is turned off, and now I'm gonna receive an email, and you see how you get this little envelope here icon, which looks pretty neat. So currently I'm sending myself an email, and in just a few seconds you see how the screen will turn on and you have an envelope icon here. And there we go. As you can see, the screen has turned on. You see just a black background with the notification, which is pretty neat, and you can actually open it up. I was a bit late, but you can actually open it up. And let me just turn this off now and let's go further. So here we have notification drawer. Once again, pretty much the same basic options here which you may have seen on other AOSP ROMs. It is quite long and it will take a while to explain all of this, but yeah, just take a quick peek at the settings here and you can tell for yourself that these are pretty basic options which you have seen on other AOSP ROMs. So let's go furthermore to PyControl. Unfortunately, this is not working. I have tested it. I have tried many methods to enable this, to have it show up. It doesn't seem to work. And according to some sources, PyControl doesn't seem to function on some phones with physical buttons at the bottom. So yeah, this is a bit of a downside here. And here we have Wake Lock Blocker. So you can actually prevent some services and applications here from working on your phone. For example, receiving a message and things such as that. You can just leave your phone to be in sleep. And lastly, here we have Total Blackout option, which basically turns the background from dim to pure black, like this. That's pretty much what this option offers. And if you actually tap on it, you have some settings here for this option. You can make it manually. You can make it basically how you want it to switch. And the last option which I'm gonna show you is on the bottom here. As you can see, we have advanced options. You may have already seen this on other ROMs, but yeah, pretty basic options here once again. You can set the media scanner behavior on boot if you wanted to scan, if you wanted to ask you to scan, and so on. And basically here we have the super user application to open up, and it will list the applications which you have granted access to. So that's pretty much it for the Liquid Smooth ROM, guys. This, in my opinion, is a really nice ROM. It manages to run smooth. In terms of customization, it is awesome. It has a lot of features. As you can see, the booting time takes about 16 seconds. It boots up fast. And what else can I say? I would highly recommend this ROM. And also, as you can see, it has a neat effect when the screen, when the phone is inactive. As you can see, the screen doesn't immediately go dim, but it actually slowly fades off, which is kind of cool. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this ROM. You can download the ROM from the link in the video description, as well as the GApps package. The ROM is available for the LTE and 3G variants. Once again, unfortunately, nothing for the dual users. I'm sorry. And that is everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so, as there will be more helpful videos like this in the future. Also, I would highly recommend to check out this other channel that I have. I do app reviews, I comment on things, I show you various tips and tricks on stuff. So yeah, you can check it out if you like. Once again, thank you for watching everyone, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.